So in this segment, we're going to be discussing the ICJ orders a halt to Israel's Rafah military offensive. So we're going to be discussing this.
The court finds that the current situation arising from Israel's military offensive in Rafah entails a further risk of irreparable prejudice to the plausible rights claimed by South Africa, and that there is urgency in the sense that there exists a real and imminent risk that such prejudice will be caused before the court gives its final decision.
And, given that Israel have continued to kind of carry out military operations in Rafah, I think this will be included in the genocide case against Israel. So that, Israel kind of giving more evidence to the judges in that specific case, really, when you think about it, because they've been warned explicitly not to go in, not to do this.
The court concludes, on the basis of the aforementioned considerations, that the circumstances of the case require to modify its decision set out in its order of March 28, 2024. The court recalls that in accordance with Article 75, paragraph 2 of its rules, when a request for the indication of provisional measures has been made, it has the power under its statute to indicate measures that are not in whole or in part other than those requested. In the present case, having considered the terms of the provisional measures requested by South Africa and the circumstances of the case, the court found that the measures to be indicated need not be identical to those requested. The court considered that, in conformity with its obligations under the Genocide Convention, Israel must immediately halt its military offensive and any other action in the Rafah governorate.
So it's pretty clear what the court wants, an end to operations in Rafah. But have Israel listened? No. They carried out operations on the day of this ruling,
which may inflict on the Palestinian group in Gaza conditions of life that could bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part. The court recalls that in its order of January 26, 2024, it ordered Israel inter alia to, I quote, take effective measures to prevent the destruction and ensure the preservation of evidence related to allegations of acts within the scope of Article 2 and Article 3 of the
You know what's going to happen to any documents. They're going to get burnt. That's what's going to happen.
Genocide Convention. End of quote. In the present circumstances, the court is also of the view that in order to preserve evidence related to allegations of acts falling within the scope of Article 2 and Article 3 of the Genocide Convention, Israel must take effective measures to ensure the unimpeded access to the Gaza Strip of any commission of inquiry, fact-finding mission, or other investigative body mandated by competent organs of the United Nations to investigate allegations of genocide.
So they're saying Israel's got to be open, and they've got to give access to any documents that a UN-mandated body will request regarding, I think, investigations against, crimes against humanity, that sort of thing. So it's pretty clear what he was saying there. But we got to this. As the International Court of Justice in The Hague was making its provisional measures, Israel was carpet bombing residential areas in Rafah. So clearly they don't care. And they've shown, a long kind of body of not caring about what international law says. It's very clear. Sky News covering this extensively. But let's see what the Americans have to say about this.
America should punish the ICC and put Karim Khan back in his place. And if the ICC is allowed to threaten Israel's leaders, we know that America will be next. There is a reason that we've never endorsed the International Criminal Court. Because
Is it because you also commit human rights abuses? Is it because you also potentially commit crimes against humanity? This is the biggest admission I've ever heard of a person saying, I'm guilty of stuff. But, that's why we hate the courts. That's why we hate the justice system. This is embarrassing, saying you're going to put Karim Khan in your place. Who are you, little man?
It is a direct affront to our own sovereignty. We don't put any international body among or above American sovereignty.
And this kind of shows you how stupid certain leaders are in the West, where they praise the ICC for taking action, rightly so, against Vladimir Putin. But as soon as it's one of their guys, nah, that's the thing with international law. It's weaponized. It's always against the enemy team, not our team. That's how it always is.
And Israel doesn't do that either. Congress is reviewing all of our options right now. We have some very aggressive legislation.
And again, if Israel if there's nothing to hide, if they haven't committed any crimes, why are they so worried? Why are they so worried?
That we're going to push as quickly as possible. It will impose sanctions, and if the ICC moves forward with its absurd warrant arrest or request, this is going to be an even bigger international problem.
It's crazy. I don't think even Putin reacted that badly when he was sanctioned by the ICC. This is absolutely ridiculous. The American stance on this goes to show you that international law is a complete joke. No one takes it seriously, because people like him will go on stage and threaten the ICC, but when the ICC, go for leaders he doesn't like, he loves it. It's just completely abhorrent, and this is one of the reasons why the international community has so many problems. I spoke about this a while ago with a friend I had who was who done some, who has an MA and things like that. She was saying, like, the UNSC is one of the biggest problems with the UN, the veto system that they have, the fact that international law can be done so in such a way that countries can just block the United Nations completely from taking action. It's completely ridiculous. For the Americans to go to bat like this. But, this is how America acts towards its allies. It will try and protect its allies, especially given Israel is its top ally in the region. It's one of the reasons why it wants it to exist. It's so desperate for it to stay around, is because it's a top ally in that region. It's the one ally they know they can depend on beyond any other country. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. International law, international law, according to these guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.